Hi there, viewers. Thank you so much again for joining me today, this beautiful Monday, for another exciting episode of the Brunch Show, TBS for short, on Value Chain TV. My name is Patience Moses, your host for the show. And as usual, today I'll be taking you through a journey where I'll unfold the various segments that we have. Today we're going to have the newspaper review segment and the entertainment segment. I want you to sit back and relax because I have very, very nice entertainment gist for you today. And in the newspaper review segment, we're going to look at what is going on around the nation. So sit back, sit tight, wait as we go to the newspaper review segment. All right, thank you for staying tuned. Now, on the newspaper review segment, there are so many papers, so many headlines. We obviously cannot exhaust all, so I've picked out a few that are much more topical and that are practically on all papers today that we're going to be looking at. And today we're going to start with the Daily Independent newspaper. Now, one story, waking up this morning, I discovered that, okay, NLC has embarked on another strike, and this is a story that is practically on all papers today. Looking at it from the Daily Independent newspaper, they say NAS last-minute moves fail to stop Labour's nationwide strike. Quite interesting. Beneath that, we have NLC TUC industrial action premature illegal. FG warns. Darkness fuel scarcity looms as NUEE, Nupeng, others join the strike. Aviation unions vow to shut down activities at all airports. While I was coming to the studio this morning, the car I boarded, I heard people commenting and giving their lamenting also that, okay, they were in support of the Abuja airports going on strike, that if they should do that, most of these big guys traveling up and down, they will get to travel and that will make them to do something. And they're like, okay, that is actually some sense. I could sense some sense in what they were saying. So they are totally in support of the strike. But the question remains, how effective and how long will NLC and TUC, the labor union, how long will they continue striking, shutting down industries, organizations for probably a day or two and three, and then they call it off, and then there's nothing to show forth for. So Nigerians are actually angry. If you go out in the streets to find out, you discover that Nigerians are angry about this whole strike thing. So we want a strike that is actually going to yield something, that is going to let it have some results, something we can see that, okay, so NLC, TUC embarked on this strike and this was what came out of it. So I hope this happens in this particular one. Still on the Daily Independent newspaper, Nigeria clears 98% of blocked funds and remaining $19 million. Now, this is coming from IATA, the International Aviation Authority. Now, still on that paper, on electricity, Gencos urge FG to pay debts. Well, I thought the federal government has paid off the debts they're owing the distribution companies. It's obvious they have not. And still on the Daily Independent, SERAP gives governors 7 days to disclose details of states, SIEC members and others. Now, this is concerning the states and local government elections that are going on. Now, away from the Daily Independent newspaper, we move to The Guardian. And this story is on fiscal policy and tax reforms. The headline says, new national tax template excites private sectors and unsettles states. Okay, so if this template, with the new tax template, it seems it's favoring the private sector and the state. Well, so we hope we are hoping to see who gets to benefit, the private sectors or the state, since it's unsettled for them. And still on The Guardian, NAFDAC warns against use of harmful preservatives. Because, okay, I think this headline is coming probably because we've been hearing news of how people use sniper to store food, and this is actually harmful if it gets consumed by humans. So this is NAFDAC warning against the use of harmful preservatives that could actually lead to that. Okay, away from the Guardian newspaper, we are looking at Nature News. Still, NAFDAC kicks against the use of sniper to preserve food. Now, these people made gave more directive on sniper. This one says Delta government initiates 15 billion naira project to combat flood as Bayelsa lags behind. Now that's a huge amount of money, and I hope it comes in handy. Dangote Group, others mark Environmental Day with essay competition on drought resilience. Now this is an opportunity for those young writers and anyone interested in writing, write out this essay and get your cash prize. Away from the Nation News, we are moving to the Punch newspaper, and the big story still on minimum wage. AGF tackles labor as NAS fails to stop strike. AGF says planned strike violates court order. FG insists on 60,000 naira as the minimum wage. Will Nigerians agree to collect 60,000 naira as the minimum wage? That's a question out for us. Still on the Punch newspaper, Gencos threaten shutdown as debt hits 37 trillion naira. Still on the Punch, naira devaluation pushes listed firms' forex debt near 4 trillion naira. A lot is going on as a result of this. Still on the Punch, the last story we're going to look at says 24,535 candidates to retake UTME on June 22nd. Now, this is coming from the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, JAMB. Now, we do not know why, but due to some technical issues, so many students were not able to write, and some wrote so many issues with their results. So over 24,535 of them will be writing and will be sitting for the exams again come June 22nd. Now, away from the Punch paper, we move to the Matrix. Still on strike, no going back, organized labor insists. Now, beneath that, we have the organized labor saying, for now, we don't have power to call off the strike. Akpabio Abbas, Akume's last-minute efforts to avert strike failed. Strike illegal, premature, says AGF as Finance Minister describes labor's demand as unaffordable. State of the economy, Edun speaks. Now, this is coming from Wale Edun, Minister says. He says, reveals why multinationals are leaving Nigeria. Says economic stabilization plan will address challenges and confronting businesses. I hope that happens the way it says. FG to boost economy with new 6 mineral centers. And lastly, we take power generation companies beg FG to settle 2 trillion naira electricity debt. Now, this is up to 2 trillion naira. No wonder they are threatening to shut down. Now, the last headline is going to be from the Daily Times, which is the last paper we're going to consider. It says, the big story here, still on minimum wage, nationwide strike commences today as NAS fails to apprehend proposed action. FG declares organized labor nationwide industrial action illegal and unconstitutional. Advises them to return to negotiating table. For how long are we going to keep going back to the negotiating table? We keep negotiating and nothing happens. So I think the strike should continue for a while, and let's see how long it's going to last, and then let's see what comes out of these. Now, the last headline I will look at says FG to deploy technology for surveillance of mining sites. Now, I think this is going to be a very big development to the mining sector, so they know what these miners are out there doing. This is where we're going to stop for the newspaper review segment. Thank you for staying tuned, and I hope you're getting enlightened and you're getting informed. Okay, this is what is going on in the nation. So stay tuned while we move to the entertainment segment. Okay, thank you. I know you're still sitting right there listening to me, and this is the entertainment segment. You're wondering, what does Patience have for me for us today? Well, I have a lot, few stories from the entertainment segment. Now, the first one is coming from Kunle Afolayan. Remember Annie Kolapo, season 1 over, now season 2, and he just revealed to us that season 2 is going to be shot in Ghana. Well, the details of these came. The announcement was made during the prestigious Cannes Festival, which took place in France. And this was where Afolayan was among some of the distinguished guests that represented Nigeria. And there also the Nigerian International Film and TV Summit, which was also hosted at that particular festival, served as a platform. This was where he made this revelation that he was going to shoot portions of Annie Kolapo in Ghana. Well, coming from him also, he said that this move was in order for him to support the Shoot in Ghana initiative that was initiated by the Ghanaian National Film Authority. Now, I think this is a good development, and I wait in anticipation to see how it is going to be. Away from Annie Kolapo and Kule, we will be looking at few movies that will be coming up this June. So this is me keeping you updated on the movies you should expect. Now, the first movie we have on our list is Muri and Co. Now, Muri and Co follows the story of a thief named Muri. He steals a car and discovers that there's a little child in the car. Now, despite the 10 million naira bounty on his head, and then he was also trying to evade the police for kidnapping the child, but along the line, there was this bond between him and the young boy. Now, Kule Remy is going to be part of this particular movie with Bisola, Buchi, and so many other people. So I hope you are waiting. You're already getting what I'm hoping was going to come out of this movie. Now, another movie is Olo Ture, The Journey. Now, this is another aspect of it coming up. The story of a young and naive Nigerian journalist who goes undercover to expose the dangerous and brutal underworld of human trafficking. The movie, which is based in Lagos, depicts how sex workers are recruited to be exploited overseas. Directed by Kenneth Yang, the movie hopes to be extremely interesting. And apart from Olo Ture, we have another movie coming up, which is Offshoot. All of these will be coming up in June. Offshoot tells the story of Modesire Mbakwe, a 40-year-old newly appointed director of operations and general investigation of the Nigerian Drugs Agency, NDA. So she goes on a full-fledged war against a drug cartel, and then her fight with the cartel reveals a family secret which changes her life forever. We have Kehinde Bankole here, we have Kelechi, Ibrahim Suleiman, we have David Jones David, and Bimbo Manuel. So this is going to be streaming on cinema, most especially on Netflix. And apart from that, we have the last movie, Laka Tabu. Now, this story, a little has been revealed about the plot and every other thing, but from the little I was able to gather, it's going to be about Laka Tabu. This movie happens, he's going to be the eponymous character in the movie, and is going to explore the challenges that he faces, the fear he evokes, and then the consequences of power. This movie was directed by Odunlade Ade Kola, and it's also going to star a few of Nigerian actors. We have Aduni Ade, and then we have Lateef Adedimeji. With the fact that Lateef is going to be here, and then Aduni, I can see that this movie is going to be a very good one. So this is where I'm going to stop for the entertainment segment, and I hope you're going to check through as you wait for these movies as they come up in June. Well, like I said, this is where I'll be wrapping up. Thank you for staying tuned on the show. I remain Patient Moses, and do not forget to drop your comments on the comment section if you have any comments, you have any suggestions, and then do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can get access to every other of our programs. The Brunch Show, the news updates by 7, where the headlines we looked at today, you're going to get more details about them. And then we also have the Sunday Star Future. And then What's Your Say, where you get to share your opinions, you share your perspective, and then let your voice be heard as it pertains to topical issues concerning the nation. Thank you so much for staying tuned. I want you to enjoy the rest of the Monday.